Hello everyone, and welcome back to the journey of the Farseas with the Farsea tribe, who has just lost another of their wonderful matriarchs who has really helped to lead this tribe from Whale Island onto solid land. So it took a little bit of adjusting because unfortunately the first thing that happened with our Farseas is that we ended up tangling with the coconut trees as soon as we set foot on this island. But now we are beginning to adjust, and a new generation is rising up in order to take over the leadership of the tribe. And so we are carrying on now with two main nichelings being our leaders. We have back here little Lynn, whose mother Peachy, descended from some of our original nichelings on Whale Island, has just passed away, blessing this nest, this permanent nest, with her bones, and has left her son somewhat perplexedly suddenly having a rabble run between his legs and away from a mysterious wanderer who is actually poking through the bushes there. So we are going to have to get to the bottom of who that wanderer is for sure, and we are also going to be keeping an eye and listening to the guidance of our current weather seer, Crumble, the child of Cookie, who really mourns the fact that his mother struggled and suffered and passed away due to being stunned repeatedly with a coconut. A lot of coconuts. I'm so sorry, Cookie. I know better now. And so he is over here trying to investigate the coconuts and to figure out their mysteries. And his little sister Chrissy, named that way as a croissant, is actually up here. She can also predict the weather as well because she has this really cool antenna. But I think that she's kind of more a daddy's girl, so she's actually going to follow their father Blake around. But those are our two leaders right now, with Crumble trying to analyze the mystery of the cocoa nuts and figure out where his instincts, that very mysterious feeling that he gains in his antennas, will give him promptings on where to guide the tribe, and then hopefully he can work with Lynn over here in order to figure out what they should do. As for everybody else, they're busy having babies. They don't have time to think about like exploring the lands or strategy or worrying about coconuts. They only have time for having babies. So that's what everybody else is kind of focusing on right now. But speaking of which, actually, we did have this wanderer Sissy with the beautiful purple spikes. I think this is one of the most stunning nichelings we have ever had, even with her derp snout, which I know a lot of people don't like. I actually think it makes their eyes really interesting, and it definitely makes her markings very interesting. Just look at those circles around her eyes. But Sissy here is actually going to help us explore the island a little bit, so I'm sure that Lynn is relying on her for a little bit of strategy and insight over where to wander. And she has also fallen for Blake, so she and Blake can actually have some healthy children. Blake can pass on purse snout. I'm going to pretend that Sissy can pass on some purse snout in her mutation menu too, because I very much want to see where the purse snout will go. And I do think Blake's heart is always going to be with Cookie though. So this is kind of like a rebound relationship, but we'll just go ahead and dive into it. There we go. And then meanwhile, Blake has also heard rumors of rustling. So Rostar, one of his sons, rushes over. There's another nicheling wandering past. This cannot be ignored, but we have to watch out because there's the evil of the coconut tree. We found him. All right. So here's another wandering male. His name is Kirku. He is standing right in the danger zone, which I think would have all of our nichelings kind of arched up and their fur arched, going, that's dangerous. Oh, he has like no fertility at all, but he has K immunity. Ooh, and he's got those poison fang recessive and webbed hind leg and sneaky tail recessive. So he might appeal to one of my females, but we'll have to see if we can even get him in the tribe. I think Crumble would rush over and offer him food, kind of as a way to say, watch out, you're gonna get hit by the cocoa nuts. And so Crumble rushes over to try to advise this wanderer in how to protect himself. And I think I'm gonna actually name him, let's go with Kulo. And that's actually kind of like hang loose in Hawaiian, like, hey, just relax, like, just what's up? Sort of like a really just like a chill phrase. But we're gonna, because I think this is gonna be a really chill nicheling. So while everybody else around our tribe is gasping in horror to see him near these cocoa nuts, Kulo here is just gonna be like, why are you guys so worried? They're delicious, and just like crack them open like nobody's business. So I think he's going to kind of shock our tribe by not being so concerned about the cocoa nuts. But also, apparently he's smart enough. Whoa, there's so many bunnels. Apparently he is smart enough not to get caught under the coconuts too. So that definitely plays a role. Meanwhile, Sunri, I think, would be going absolutely bananas over all these bunnels because she does have a very more hunting personality. And Lin would make it his business to rush over and see what this newcomer Kulo is up to. Sissy is going to settle in respectfully on the bones of our wonderful Peachy here and kind of just make herself at home, probably very happy to have stumbled upon such a large, if somewhat easily scattered and easily scared tribe that she can add her genetics into. Rororo here will continue to gather up some of the coconuts as well because he wants to make sure no nicheling ever becomes as hurt as many of ours have by these awful trees. And Chrissy has been forgotten by her brothers and her father in all the excitement, so I think Rororo will gently guide Chrissy back over to where the rest of the tribe has run off to. Meanwhile, Zio will come over to the nest blessed with the bones of Cookie and have another child. So we'll let her go ahead and have another child with her mate. Nothing else that she can do. And Robin, I think, will frantically run over and gather more roots and gather more of the grass because he wants to make sure that his wonderful mate has everything she needs, and he's still kind of crossing his paws, hoping that he'll have a really flashy son one day. I've started to assign in this tribe, just in case you guys don't know, the mutations that we're picking, partially to make sure our tribe is healthier, but mostly based off of personality, life history, events that happen in our tribe, dreams or desires our tribe may have, like the fact that Sunri has scorpion tail in her recessive, and she really wants to get ram horns. We used to have ram horns unlocked. Unfortunately, something happened. I'm not sure what happened, but we lost the ability to use our ram horns. But Sunri wants to hunt enough of the bundles that we'll be able to correct that. Meanwhile, Dove, she's very gentle, so I think she'd go ahead and repair that nest and just kind of gently come over and sniff these berries with curiosity. And then over here, I think Azel is starting to get to the point where she just doesn't feel quite right. So her brother is going to come up to kind of see what's going on with Azel. They're unfortunately sickly nichelings. However, they have been able to contribute quite a bit to the family, even though they have been sickly. Oh no, Lala. There you go. And Lala is going to have another child. I just really feel that Lala and Pecan don't understand that all of their children are being born sickly, because they haven't ever had a nicheling die of early death from being sickly. And I was kind of hoping we would have purr snout by now so we could purr heal some of these nichelings, but that's just not the case. All right, Pecan is going to continue to gather up berries and all of this grass for his wonderful mate. They're in their own little world over there. It's almost like they've settled a little farm in the backcountry of our nichelings' now open lands. We're not all united on the back of a wandering whale together after all. So the nichelings are sort of, it's almost like they're homesteading. They have gone off, they found a good spot, they found some berries, they're having tons of babies. That's what's going on that side. And we have 3 new babies to add into the tribe. So let's do this. Come on, come on, come on. What are we gonna get? What do we get? Oh my gosh, we have quite the selection. Oh, we unlocked a new gene. Crumble, our weather seer. Tell me. Wait, we already had Peacock. What am I doing? I'm like, dramatic gasp. Peacock tail. We already had that one unlocked, Siri. Good, and there you go. Oh, we got 50 days, so we have now unlocked normal fertility. Well, that's good news for you, Kulo. All right, so there we go. Let's see. So let's look over the babies. We'll just start from over here. And we have a new weather seer named Simi. So she is the child of Buak and she is the child of Sissy. And I think being born as a weather seer, she kind of reminds me of a moth more than any of our other nichelings for some reason. So what do I want to name her? Samoth? That's kind of an odd name. Let's go with Sama. So Sam? Oh my gosh, I was trying to pull from the sissy. Simoth. We'll just go with Samoth. It seems like an odd name, but to be honest, she's a little bit of a unique looking nicheling, so I think that it'll work. So we have a little weather seer. So I wonder, what are her genes? She also can sense, oh, she shares a D immunity, of course, because she's half brothers with Crumble. So let's see, she has female peacock tail recessive and recessive purse snout. So, trying to get a little bit closer. Purse snout apparently is a very hard to pull out trait. So we're going to remember that it's not the easiest. If we have some nichelings with purse snout, we might really want to take care to have a line of them going at all times. The antennae are actually a lot easier to pull into our tribe's genetics than I thought they would be, but that's really cool because now we have a whole bunch of little seers, and little Samoth is our newest addition. So what else are her genes? Normal eyesight, thank goodness. She's really good at berry picking. So I'm going to pretend that with Samoth here, her ability is to really sense where the best berries may grow. So she's going to be our berry guide. Born among such fertile fields, she is going to want to gather lots of berries when she grows up. So let's see, Sissy still has time, Block still has time, so we can work on that. Oh, next baby. Oh, and now we have another male. My goodness, I'm just not getting the babies I expected out of Zio and Robin, but I'm gonna go ahead and name this little guy, Tuft. After the tuft titmouse, who is one of my favorite birds and very common in the United States. So you guys probably know about the tuft titmouse. He's the one who is basically all gray with some lighter gray on the belly and that little teensy mohawk, kind of like a cardinal that they raise and lower. And you'll often see them at bird feeders. So he's going to be named Tuft. And I think that even though he's born with a very gentle, dainty appearance, because he has double velvet paw, he wishes that he was a little bit sassier, that he had a little bit more pecking ability. He wants to have a little bit more strength. So his children may actually be given the hope of having mutations for maybe that beaked gene. I think he admires his father's beak and wishes that he had one too. All right, woo. And meanwhile, we've got lots of nichelings over there, but we have twins. Holy canoodles. We just had like all of the Seers born because now we have another set of nichelings, and this set of nichelings has antenna. Like, oh my gosh, it's an island of Seers. I have no idea what I'm gonna do with that many. What do you do when you have that many Seers together? Can you start doing? It would be kind of cool if you could do like a little rain dance, but that would be a little bit far-fetched. But yeah, like, are they gonna all try to lead each other in different directions? I'm not sure. I feel like the twins would want to stay close together, but one is actually a healthy baby boy. Oh my goodness. Okay, so Pecan, you have Cuckoo, we have Azel, and we have Walnut, and now we have another son who's actually the only healthy child that these two have been able to have together. He has recessive purse snout, and his sister, oh no, where's his sister? It's kind of funny they don't put the twins right next to each other. There she is. All right, scooch, there we go. So Dracimi, I'm going to go ahead and name her Raisin. And then we have her brother. So we have Pecan and Walnut. Hazel is kind of a girl's name. Ooh, let's actually go with, let's see. Birch. There we go. There we go. So Birch and Raisin, which don't really match, but I think those are kind of cute names. It's kind of fun to just have to come up with them on the fly again. And I think he is going to be pulled towards the purse snout nichelings because he has recessive purse snout as well. Meanwhile, Raisin I think Raisin might actually have an affinity with young Samoth over here because she is also a double nimble-fingered berry picker. And I feel like she might want to guide the tribe towards all of the berry spots, seeking it out with the antenna that she has. So we've got quite the interesting little collection going on over there too. My goodness, so many cool babies. All right, well, time to start doing things, right? So many babies. Let's start with over here. I think that Kulo is just like, yeah, look at all of these rabbles. Dang, lots of food. It's delicious, isn't it? Right, guys? So I think that he is very laid back. And he's just like, an amazing hunter. Did you see that? I do not think that escaped Sunri's attention, and I think she's coming over here to investigate the many bundle kills that just happened, and I don't think that it escaped her attention that Kulo, who's really laid back and just like, there's no reason to be worried about the coconuts, they're good, guys, and just really chill. Oh, where are my antlers? I keep forgetting where my antlers. There we go. Ram horns. Man, it is going to take a lot of work to get all of those attacks that we need for ram horns again. But yeah, I don't think it escaped Sunri's attention that Kulo is like that. And could they possibly be good mates? K and A, about as close as I can get with most of my nichelings. All right. Meanwhile, I think Sissy, charmed with her child, is going to go ahead and become pregnant again with Wake's child. Wake is going to like be helping clear a whole bunch of the land. And Lynn is going to cautiously jump down here to investigate the mysteries of the coconuts and try to take some of the advice that he's learning from Kulo, where the rest of the tribe may be frantically like running away with their tails up and their manes fully up, almost like hissing and like growling as the coconuts fall from the tree. I feel like Kulo would just be like, it's alright, you let them fall and you go and you pick them up. It's not a big deal to stay away from the tree, like just kind of very relaxed with it. I don't know why he has that personality, but it just clearly is coming through to me very strongly. Meanwhile, down here, lots and lots of bundle opportunities, which I think would make Pecan pretty excited. Also, probably make Cuckoo pretty excited. Let's see. And Azelle, I think, is just starting to get to the point where she just doesn't quite feel 100% right. So I'm going to have Walnut continue on his little journey, kind of looking for something to help his sister and some of his siblings who aren't quite feeling well. And hopefully he'll meet up with Sissy at some point and they can have one of the babies that I'm really hoping for. All right, we'll go ahead and clear this away. And we'll have Cuckoo come over to share gathering the bundle meat with his dad. Oh no, he's gonna get his dad sick. Oh, I've been so good about not getting Pecan sick from his mini sickly children until now. Phooey. All right, and meanwhile, I feel like Dove is a little bit flighty. She's just not quite settled. So she's sort of starting to wander around on her own, not really sure what to do. And Raven, I think, just wants to find some nice berries, but these berries seem kind of tapped out. So she might be coming over to ask advice on what kind of really good berries she could find. And Chrissy is also a weather seer. And I feel like she's very curious about the water. So we're gonna have this little weather seer come down and she's going to kind of investigate the waterways. I think if I try to put her in the water right now, she's gonna drown though. So not quite yet. And Rororo is relieved that he has kept an eye on little Chrissy, who is now going over to her brother Crumble. And I think that Rororo is quite happy to... Roro, is there anything that I really want to get from you? He has violet eye recessive. Oh my goodness. But his genes are just so close and he would probably pass on at least one deformed paw. So I think Roro is just going to kind of like gently come over. He also is missing, he has double deformed paws, which has always made me feel bad. So he's just going to come down and see if he can help with this investigation of the evil coconuts. And then Zio, I'll let you go ahead and destroy that nest. Robin, this is your last child, so he very happily and eagerly rushes over. And Zio and Robin's getting a little bit older, a little bit tired. He is still our only beaked nicheling. He hoped to have a beaked child, and instead we had a whole bunch of like double velvet pawed children. But it is still a loving relationship those two ended up having. So, carrying on. Rest well, Ramen. Oh my gosh, your final child has gigantic ears. Oh my goodness. So he had one last son named Nuta. We are going to change his name. Okay, what about a bird who can't fly very well? And what about do I know any more gray birds off the top of my head? Or birds with big, I mean, not ears, clearly, but maybe really big wings. I think I'm going to name his son Goose. I know that seems a little bit silly, but we're going to name his son Goose because I feel that this is a good... Oh my gosh, we have so many children. I need to feed all of these nichelings. I just realized. Oh dear. But we're going to name his son Goose. And unfortunately, we never quite had the child that we were going for with him, but I'm very happy with those that we did have. All right. And meanwhile, Kulo has majorly impressed Sunri. And I think Sunri would want to know a little bit more about what kind of creatures are out there and what else can Kulo do. So would he guide her around the world? And I think that he would. I think he'd be like, hey, yeah, look, there's a whole bunch of fish right here. And sure enough, we found a perfect spot with tons and tons of fish, which is kind of amazing. And then we'll come up here really, this is still danger zone. This is still danger zone, Rororo. Keep moving. And then, yeah, Crumble, I think, would have eagerly, like, told Rororo to keep moving so he didn't get hit again. But a couple, yeah, they can't get that coconut just yet. We'll have Lynn, as one of the leaders, kind of come over. Oh my gosh, Lynn, how are you always just hatching bundles from between your legs? It's amazing. But he'll come over to kind of investigate this new food resource, which is fish, which has not been introduced into the tribe before. And then Crumble... is kind of, he's still investigating these piles of cocoa nuts because they can be somewhat dangerous. And we will have Chrissy come over. I think that she just really wants to get in the water, but there's a lot of food right here in this heap of meat. Can I grab it? Okay, we're gonna move Chrissy before she gets hit by that coconut because we really need to start gathering more food in every turn. All right, Block is gonna go ahead and gather up these nuts with Rostar, who just kind of wants to follow his dad around. And I think Rostar, if his dad says go find food, where could Rostar find more food? I think Rostar would start following all of the bigger nichelings down here, and we'll walk up here and start searching for food. All right, Samoth, I think, is a young little nicheling who is just getting the scent of berries embedded into her heart and realizing that that's perhaps something she wants to investigate as time goes on. And her mother is settling down, content to have another child. And meanwhile, coming around the side, surprising both of them, is Walnut, who just has a look about him that hopefully Sissy will fall for. So there's that group. And then we have lots of food over here. We have the twins who are now tumbling out of the nest. I think their mother Lala feels she's getting a little old for having so many babies, but it's really good to see her children being so healthy. Cuckoo, come on, Cuckoo. We don't have a lot of attack ability, but they're trying over here. We've got more bundles coming for us. There we go. Oh, and we've got quite a bit we can do over here. Like I said, homesteading in the wilds back here. All right, and then Dove, I think, is kind of, she's a little bit of a flighty nicheling, just kind of going where she will. And her sister Raven, let's see, D and B immunity. A and D, oh, so many of our immunities are shared across the board, unfortunately. Yeah, now we've got like D immunity on everybody. Curses. D and B, A and D, A and A. Oh, hey! So actually Cuckoo and Raven might be able to have some healthy children in the future. So we'll wiggle that one up there. Tuft is over here. Zio, I think, is just going to kind of like watch over the spot where her mate was. And her last two children, we never did get the beaked, beautiful baby that we were going for with our poor Robin. But maybe one day. And now we will leave off. Oh, I had a death! Oh! I didn't realize I was gonna have a death so soon! Oh my goodness gracious. Blake, that wasn't you. Oh my gosh, who was that? Oh, I feel so bad! I don't remember who that was! Sunri! That wasn't, okay, yeah, that wasn't our new wandering Kulo dude. My god, oh, it was Rororo! Rest in peace, Rororo, our sweet. Oh my goodness. And there's bundles everywhere. So there's abundant food. We just need to settle in and start gathering it. And we are still missing that purr snout. So next time we are going to try really hard to get that purr snout. Maybe that's what one of the Seers actually can sense. In fact, I think that's what Birch senses, is that desire to see Pursnout enter the family. Because his sister is a sickly nicheling. His whole family actually is, all of his siblings are sickly. He is the only one who was spared by the nicheling gods and not actually sickly. So we may send him out, and we might have him go ahead and meet up with our lovely females. Not Sunry, but actually Chrissy. Ooh, Chrissy, why don't you have Pursnout recessive? Where did all my recessive Pursnouts go? Oh, it was Samoth. Ooh, C and D, A and B, Samoth and Birch. It's a match made in heaven, and hopefully a match where we will actually bring forth not only some weather seers, or I guess they're kind of like sensing seers who sense different things depending on their personality, but also maybe Pursnout, so we can heal our sickly nichelings, which I am so excited about. But alright guys, we will continue exploring and hopefully stumble on some more surprises next time, and I will see you guys then. Bye-bye!